Are you looking forward to Jedi Survivor but aren't sure which of all these brand new combat styles is right for you without story spoilers? Well, today we're going to go through what the 5 available stances are in which you may want to play in your own playthrough. On top of the single and double-bladed lightsaber combat stances in Fallen Order, Survivor adds in 3 more: dual sabers, the crossguard stance, and a blaster stance. You're able to have 2 to swap between at any given time, though you can change it up at workbenches and meditation points whenever you like. So if you regret your choices because you've died, you're conveniently right where you need to be to switch it up and blame anything but your own gameplay. The single saber stance is the jack of all trades you remember from the first game. It's a mix of power, speed, and everything else. It's great for all the boring fence sitters out there, and the double-bladed stance is similar to what you'd remember from the first game as well. It's great for crowd control and easily able to deflect attacks from multiple directions and hit multiple enemies at once. Of the new forms, the one you get earliest in the game is the dual saber stance. I really wanted to love this one, but while I'm sure plenty of people will still enjoy it, it was the one that I personally struggled to master the most. It's very fast and allows you to cancel moves to swap between attacking and parrying even in the middle of an attack in a way that other stances can't, but a lot of the attacks in my experience feel a bit harder to land because the movement or lack thereof involved in them, especially in boss fights. It made it a lot easier to stay alive, but it unfortunately made it a lot easier for the enemies to stay alive as well. The secondary charge-up attack can be really powerful, but it's pretty dependent on what the enemy does, while a lot of the other combos involve jumping back, which can be a little annoying when you break an enemy's guard, and then have to waste some time re-closing when it's already a lower damage stance. I'm sure this is mostly a skill issue on my end, so I'm going to give it another try in my next playthrough. Next is the blaster stance, which was my surprising favorite after not really being excited for it. At first glance it seems like it'd be relying on the blaster with a simple lightsaber form for support, but in practice the lightsaber form is more like fencing. You have a pretty limited blocking stamina, so there's a lot of dodging in and out, harassing with the blaster, then jumping in to get a few quick hits with the lightsaber, dealing damage and replenishing your ammo, so it's still very lightsaber focused. It's a ton of fun and the easiest one I found to pair with other forms. If you break an enemy's guard with this form, and then switch to one of the other more damage-oriented ones, it can be a very powerful combo. The one that I found to be the best to pair it with for that combo is the final new stance, the crossguard saber based on Kylo Ren's. This can be another one that's difficult to master because damn are you slow when using it. The attacks have a long wind-up so they hit like a truck, but if you time it wrong, you're in trouble. It's basically how claymores function in other more medieval and less laser-based fantasy settings with similar gameplay. While I did struggle more with the dual saber in boss fights, as much as I would love to say it's the saber's fault and not mine, I think I do have to admit it was at least partially my fault. So I think each style will have a significant portion of the player base who mains it, and I don't think any combination of the 5 being active at any point is going to be a big disadvantage for anyone. Hopefully this video has helped you pick which one you want to play with when the game comes out. The new stances do have to be acquired through the story, but none are particularly deep in the game, so you have plenty of time to experiment. If you're interested in a full review of the game, I'll have a link to that in the description as well as in the cards. That'll be on my lore channel, Corey's Datapad, but tomorrow, Thursday, at 11 AM Eastern, I'll be starting a streamed playthrough of the game here on this channel as well. So I hope to see you there.